I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, we are courtroom hopping into the courtroom of Judge David M. Fleischer out of the state of Texas. This isn't our first time sitting in on one of Judge Fleischer's proceedings. We've sat in a couple times before, and every time we've sat in, he's handled the sovereign citizen defendants before him very well. So I don't really see this being any different, but I am interested in seeing what this particular sovereign citizen has to say. So with that being said, guys, without further ado, let's jump into the proceeding.
I've talked to Madam Prosecutor on this case, Judge, and I'm approaching on two things: one, bond reinstatement, and PC on this case, Judge. She and I have already discussed it on this case, and we just both want you to hear the PC if we can, Judge. Okay. And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge. Right.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide
traveler. Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, I'm sorry, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know, did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally.
Remember, this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
so
I agree.
They ask you to come out of the car one time. Yeah, it's really that's. So, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberl?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration, we have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police. So I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate, and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration, number one, from his perspective. All defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by which of way I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Daly? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
No, right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberly, I'll reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy
I mean, I think the case is only 3 months old,
Yes,
so you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. Really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over. Okay? All right. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of this proceeding. And listen, I must say, I don't think I've sat in any proceedings up until this point where I've heard a defendant driving a car with the word traveler on the license plate. That was definitely caught me off guard. Definitely never heard of anything like that. Obviously, I've seen sovereign citizen cases and footage of police stops where they're saying I'm not driving, I'm traveling, all of that, but never have I heard of a case where somebody was driving with the word traveler on the license plate. It sounds like the traffic stop got a little aggressive. The lawyer claims that the police was tugging on his arm, didn't give him time to get out of the car. Who knows? That may be the case. I mean, there's definitely times where we see police get super aggressive for no reason. And then there's times that we don't. So who knows what really happened in that situation? Shout out to this guy that he didn't allow himself to talk, even though we see he has his sovereign citizen head on by just riding around with the word traveler on his license plate. What we think all sovereign citizens should do is have a lawyer and not say anything. It seems like he's gotten that part. I heard what his lawyer was saying about, understanding what to do on the traffic stops, especially being Black, things of that nature. I've definitely been through some things myself, but I must be honest. You're going to have eggheads on both sides. You're going to have eggheads on the police side. You're going to have eggheads on the citizen side. And what do I mean by that? There's times where cops are super aggressive and the person that got pulled over, they're just trying to be polite and be nice, and cops are talking crazy. And then you got it on the reverse side where the cops are trying to be nice, trying to be polite, and whoever they pulled over, the citizen that's been pulled over, gives them a hard time. So you see it on both sides. It just depends on who the individual is. Neither side, acting up is right. So I get what she's saying about that. So, it just teaches us all, man, that we all need to respect one another and do the right thing, whether we're on the law enforcement side or we're on the side of the, of the one that's getting pulled over. But it seems like she's a very good lawyer. Seems like she has a relationship with Judge Fleischer. Seems like he knows her. Seems like she was raised in a good family. She spoke well on his behalf to the point of where she got his PR bond reinstated. So hopefully this guy does the right thing. Hopefully he doesn't drive around in any more cars with the word traveler on his license plate. But if we get any updates on this case, I will most definitely share them with you. But with that being said, guys, that's the end of this proceeding. Once again, this is Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. And for now, guys, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. God bless.